Women from Nsinde Bachara Produce Group in Charusozi Sub-County, Chenjojo District, took to the floor to thank government for the interest-free Women Entrepreneurship Fund. This is one of the groups dealing in produce buying from communities in Nsinde, most especially dried cassava chips. The challenge is they have failed to exploit markets in Kampala and beyond. The area extension worker Charusozi Sub-County Baptist Owamani says such poorly dried produce is not only yielding little profit, but dangerous to people's lives.
This mold, particularly this blue, there is brown, and there is yellow. Those types of molds are very dangerous, as you are aware, for us who know. But others, they see these molds as a very flavor stuff for this color.
A lead consultant on aflatoxins and Makerere University Head of Food Science and Technology, Professor Achileo Kaya, says that over 40% of the human ailments are a result of eating contaminated food.
It is a serious problem in Uganda because we have been researching on aflatoxins for now about 20 years. First of all, in the early 70s, 1970, there was a case, a reported case of death of a boy who ate cassava containing aflatoxins and died because of liver failure. Then later on, we have found out that the prevalence of these toxins are quite high in our foodstuffs, especially maize, groundnuts, sorghum, cassava, dried cassava, sometimes dried sweet potatoes, the so-called amkeke. Then also most of these grains, including even soybean, by the way, and also fish, mukene, because it is also dried. So you find that the levels are quite high. So the products that are made from these foodstuffs, including animal feeds and also beverages like the local drinks, the marua, the kwete, can also be found to have high levels of aflatoxins.
The African Union Commission has partnered with Uganda Mycotoxin Mitigation Steering Committee and the Partnership for Aflatoxins Control in Africa to train Ugandan journalists on effective and accurate reporting and save masses against cancer and related contracting lifestyle.
From the onset, when PACA was created, stakeholders realized that awareness of aflatoxin and their impacts on health of the consumers, trade and agriculture is generally low. However, it also dawned on the stakeholders that creating awareness of aflatoxins to the general public is complex due to the technical nature of information involved. We all know that aflatoxins are a silent killer. They cannot be seen by the naked eye, and their health effects mostly manifest over time, what we call chronic effects. Therefore, communicating the harmful effects of aflatoxins needs to be done responsibly without causing alarm and panic among the population. This requires scientists and communication specialists to work in synergy to develop clear, evidence-based, action-driven messages and information targeted at specific audiences and delivered using the media formats and language most appropriate and accessible to those groups.
The Director for Crop Extension Services in the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Beatrice Byarugaba, says aflatoxins have made the country to lose revenue.
But also in children who depend on such a type of food, they also are stunted. So it causes those health hazards. But recently we are also linking aflatoxins to liver cancer because it has been found out by researchers that it is one of the causes of liver cancer. In the marketplaces, in the small shops, the levels of aflatoxins are higher than what is scientifically allowed, and they measure them in parts per billion. So they are saying that what is existing in Uganda in most communities is higher than what can be tolerated. So it actually has been a very big problem, but since we knew about 2 years ago, we have been working on how to control it and how to prevent it.
Byarugaba says government is to scale up awareness on prevention of aflatoxin contamination with available extension staff.
We have been working on how to control it and how to prevent it. We have communicated information. We have taught our extension workers on how they can go and guide farmers on proper post-harvest handling. We have partnered with other development partners like USAID. They have supported us to produce information, communication, education materials. So now we have information to give to people, but previously we didn't know what it was and we could not communicate something that we did not know. So we have also been supported by African Union Commission and have developed an action plan for Uganda to stop the development and spread of aflatoxins. So we are on the right path.
Aflatoxins is a silent killer. However, public awareness will hopefully impact greatly on the health of consumers, trade and agriculture modernization.
We computed the economic loss as a result of failure to export grains alone, and we found out that we lose more than 78 million US dollars annually because of failure to export the grains. But of course those figures change depending on the season and also depending on how, the volume of produce that is intended for export.
We need to have very many more extension workers recruited. Government is also aware and we are pushing it, we are continuing to lobby so that we can recruit more. But in the meantime, we are partnering with the other agents who can help us.
But aflatoxins, as we talk, are not yet prioritized in our national agenda. And that is why, even as I talk now, the country doesn't have a food safety policy, because it will be that policy that will enable government agencies to, effectively implement aflatoxin mitigation.